Last night, Kathleen Kennedy just threw another massive Star Wars celebration and no one even noticed. So you're telling me one of the biggest events that's supposed to be in Star Wars calendar happened last night and the internet barely blinked. I mean, that's not just a flop. You see, that's just a full-blown disaster. Now, under the leadership of Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars has gone from the most beloved franchise in pop culture to a tone deaf corporate woke mess that nobody cares about anymore. As a matter of fact, the franchise Star Wars is dead. And if this celebration proved anything, is that the Kathleen Kennedy version of Star Wars isn't just out of touch, is completely dead in the water. So yeah, Star Wars is dead, I said it again, and not in a metaphorical way. I'm talking full blown, irreversible, lights out, bury it in the sand, dead. The view says it all. If you were to go on the Star Wars YouTube channel, the hype is gone, the fans disillusioned, the content tone deaf, cringe inducing nightmare. Okay. And if this pathetic Star Wars celebration 2025 proves anything, is that Kathleen Kennedy and her version of Star Wars has completely exploded into a wreck, a flaming wreck, while at that. Now, I'm like I said, if you were to take a look at the official Star Wars YouTube channel, home of over 4.14 million fans or subscribers, they posted a bunch of Star Wars celebration content, and the views are pathetic, like embarrassingly low. I'm talking like averaging of 10,000 views here, 4.3 thousand views there, and an annihilation and no animation 20th century, well, 20th anniversary panel, a clip that should have brought the nostalgia fueled excitement back together, scraped together just only 31,000 views. That's just mid-tier Fortnite streaming pulls in an hour. You see, we're talking about Star Wars here, the franchise that used to rule the box office, dominate culture, and command billions. Now it just gets clowned by anybody on YouTube who's doing an unboxing of action figures. Okay, that's not just a clown. That's a full-blown meltdown brought to you by none other than Kathleen Kennedy and her disastrous leadership of Star Wars. Okay, I mean, we've all seen this coming from a mile away. Not even I knew about it. I was wondering when it's going to be, but yeah, even the clips that should have exploded barely made a ripple. You see, Jon Favreau and Sigourney Weaver, that video with the whole Mandalorian and Grogu thing, pulling over 16,000. Pedro Pascal and Dave Filoni only 24,000. Even Hayden Christensen, who the fans actually like, only pulled in 47,000 views. Okay, and that right there is just insane. You see, this man had lines out of the door at cons. People waited hours to meet him, and yet even his Star Wars celebration panel couldn't even crack at 50,000 views. That's how far we've fallen. You see, the good times are long gone. We're not in the golden era anymore. We're stuck in the aftermath, the dark times, if you will, where nobody gives a crap about what Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars keep doubling down on, which is the same tone of deaf nonsense that, you know, got them here in the first place. And honestly, y'all know me. I came into the fandom late and everything, taking late interest, loving it every step of the way until the Disney sequels came out. That's when I got flabbergasted. But one of the only things that Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars dropped that's actually pulling in decent numbers is Andor season 2. Okay. One Andor video hit about 1.1 million views. And sure, I mean, that's impressive. But for now, but I want to see the ratings though after this show premieres, because YouTube views don't translate into actual dedicated viewership anymore. And that should show a lot, because that says a lot, because that shows how many people are actually interested in Star Wars anymore. Okay. But people simply just click, skim, move on. That's it. That doesn't mean the show is going to perform. And quite frankly, Andor might be the last real shot that Star Wars has to salvage anything resembling quality. Now, if it flops, that's a huge fiasco of galactic proportions. Sorry for that right there. But forget quality writing or good characters. The Kathleen Kennedy version of Star Wars is back on their garbage trend, pumping out random, disconnected, probably doomed announcements and stuff, and like it's 2015 again. I mean, at this point, they even just announced a Darth Maul animated series. I mean, to some that would sound cool, right? Well, actually, wrong. It's probably going to be some weird crime lord origin story, but knowing Kathleen Kennedy, they'll probably throw in some sort of love arc with Obi-Wan Kenobi and have Maul cry about his feelings. But I'm kidding. Also, by the way, not really meaning that. But if you are actually watch the whole Star Wars animated series, the I forgot what it is, but it's just basically it featured Obi-Wan Kenobi in it in one episode, and Darth Maul fighting each other because Darth Maul was hunting for Obi-Wan on Tatooine, found Obi-Wan, they fought, and Obi-Wan Kenobi kills him. Okay. So yeah, basically most likely might be another lecture on gender identity in the outer rim or something like that. I don't know. Joking, obviously, but am I? But with Kathleen Kennedy and her version of Star Wars, you never know. You see, that's the cringe level where we are right now. Once fearsome Sith Lord turned into some sort of overdramatic soap opera character in a galaxy that's built by committee headed by Kathleen Kennedy. And speaking of cringe, the newest Star Wars movie announcement. I mean, with Ryan Gosling. Yeah, the dude who played Ken from the Barbie movie. And the director is this dude, is the same dude behind Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, they're getting him right there because they're desperate. They're trying to win back the male fans and everything. So that way they can go ahead and alienate the male fans. Now, on paper, that combo should get people talking. But here's the thing. Nobody is, especially when it comes to Star Wars. Zero hype. It's like shouting into a void. No one's dissecting trailers. No one's analyzing interviews. No one is excited. Now, this is Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy, and it's so irrelevant right now that even a major casting like Ryan Gosling barely makes a blip on the cultural radar. Okay, now that's how bad this version of Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy has been destroyed. And that's actually, not surprising at all because guess what? It's so bad that actors are literally passing on Star Wars roles. It's not just writers, but actors too. Like Mickey Madison just flat out said, nah, I'm good to the new movie. That right there is insane. So when actors used to go ahead and dream of joining the galaxy far, far away, and now they're simply just, dodging it like the plague. And can anyone blame them? I mean, Star Wars used to make careers. Now it's a career nightmare, a dumpster fire of basically unrealistic expectations, media backlash, and the whole Kathleen Kennedy fed scripts that actually sound like they were actually written by an HR committee trying not to offend TikTok. No, thank you. No, no, thank you. See, that's what I call the Star Wars curse right there. You see, you get cast, the project tanks, suddenly you're the bad guy. Okay. Now, Kathleen Kennedy and her version of Star Wars turns on the fans, labels them sexist, racist, whatever the buzzword of Islamophobe is for the week, and your career takes a nosedive. Okay, it happened with John Boyega. Okay, it also happened with Kelly Marie Tran, who recently made comments about the Star Wars fans too. And these people, or Trump supporters, these people didn't get to become icons. They got fed into the mob and used as shields by Kathleen Kennedy when things went south. It's a complete meltdown of professionalism, accountability, and storytelling. And it keeps on happening. This is where Kathleen Kennedy gets insane, okay? And what's wild is how obvious it all is. You see, it's basically textbook manipulation. Every time the hype dies down, boom, someone connected to Star Wars makes some insufferable comment about the fans, okay? And that's not surprising to hear. Just last week, as you all know, John Boyega was back on the attack, and not long after that, Kelly Marie Tran made headlines again, or at least people started talking about her. And it always follows the same cycle. Call the fans toxic, make them react, get Star Wars trending, then drop another weak trailer. I mean, that's not clever at all. It's desperate. And it's tone deaf, and it's not working anymore. Okay. Now, if you were to go to any store or online, like Walmart, for example, even the merch is falling apart. Toys are not selling anymore, and that's huge. Star Wars used to dominate toy sales, and now they're just simply scrambling to repackage old nostalgia bombs like Dash Rendar from the Shadows of the Empire, or even Darth Vader and even Yoda, and they still can't get it right. Now the new some a lot of people say that the new figure looks like some clean shaven accountant. Now the rugged scoundrel. I mean, at this point it's embarrassing. It doesn't even touch the coolness of the '90s version. It's the kind of design that screams, "We don't understand our audience." Okay, and yeah, fans destroyed Kathleen Kennedy's version of Star Wars team over it. Okay, and rightfully so. You see, because the simple fact of the matter is, people are sick and tired of this mess. And then you also have what was called the infamous Slave One situation. With Boba Fett's iconic ship. Apparently, it's too spicy for Kathleen Kennedy and her version of Star Wars, and it's been that way for a year or almost 2 years now. They renamed it Fire Spray. You're not protecting feelings at all, Kathleen Kennedy. You're butchering a legacy. That's what Kathleen Kennedy has turned Star Wars into. A corporate woke driven, legacy trashing, politically correct fiasco of fake diversity and hollow storytelling. All flash, no soul. Okay. And this whole Star Wars celebration thing was supposed to be a party for the fans, a gathering of a tribe, a massive hype machine. But this one felt like a funeral, okay? No excitement at all, no speculation, no analysis, just a bunch of people pretending to even care while the numbers scream the truth. And of all this took place in Japan. And even though nobody's watching, and maybe Andor may save the day, maybe it doesn't. But one thing's for sure, though, this was not a celebration. This was a wake, basically. And Kathleen Kennedy and her version of Star Wars has no pulse left. Okay, now I'll be honest with you. They can go ahead and simply just announce all the shows and movies they want. Okay, but we've heard it before. Rogue Squadron canceled. Lando series, vaporware. Taika Waititi Star Wars movie still floating in development and in limbo. It's always the same playbook. Drop some flashy project title, generate fake buzz, and then quietly cancel it a year later. But at this point, it's a joke, a bad one, and people are tired of laughing, and it's not exciting anymore. You see, it's exhausting. So, unless this version of Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy burns it all down and starts over, this galaxy far, far away is going to stay exactly where it is, forgotten. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. If you enjoy what we're sharing in this video, smash the like button in this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.